the middle of the month! Hi, I'm Shailyn and I sew. This video is my entry for Slushy's Socials video contest. The group is filled with pinup enthusiasts and vintage enthusiasts who just love all sorts of vintage styling. Since this video is supposed to be super fun and quirky, I decided to go a different direction with my Mrs. Maisel make this month. This month, instead of copying a look that Mrs. Maisel has already worn in the show, I thought, what would Mrs. Maisel wear if she was told, you gotta wear a mask? Well, I did some research and, well, I decided that Mrs. Maisel liked to wear hats. Hats everywhere. So I decided in today's video that I will be making a hat. So for this video, I tested quite a few free hat patterns for you guys because right now we don't have money to be buying hat patterns that don't work. So I tested some for you. But I finally found one. So I will link the pattern that I use down below. It is from Instructables. Go to that link, download the pattern, print out the pieces, and let's begin. Now that you've printed out and cut out all your pieces, you're going to take the rectangular front brim piece and get rid of that. And then you're going to take the other front brim piece and match it up to the hat crown front piece. How you're going to do that is you can line it up like I did here, or not to worry, I've already measured it out for you. You're going to remove 1 3/8 inch from the wider side of the brim. And then you're going to make that the center of the brim, and that's going to be on the fold. In fact, all of the pieces here are supposed to be cut on fold. So here is an example where I folded the piece of paper in half, and then I put the pattern piece right on that fold there, and that's how I'm going to cut out the pattern piece. Obviously, you're going to do that on your fabric or your felt instead. And here you can see that when I cut it on fold, I can open it up and have all of these weirdly shaped pieces for the hat. So now we're going to start putting the pattern pieces together. First, you're going to take the hat crown front, and you're going to take the hat top front, and you're going to flip the hat top front right sides together so the straight part goes over the hat crown front portion that's curved. So this is going to be curved on the front part of your head. Pin that together and sew it. Once you've sewn those pieces together, flip it so you're looking at the right side of the fabric, and you're going to top stitch on one side of the seam. And what you're basically doing here is you're stitching the seam on one side and holding it flat. This will also give a sort of neat look on the outside of your hat as well. Now back to your pattern pieces, you're going to do the same thing with the crown back piece and the top back piece. You're going to take the straight part of the top back piece, flip it right sides together on top of the crown back, and pin and sew that together. And you're going to do the exact same thing here. You're going to sew the pieces together, open it up, and top stitch on one side of the seam. you have the front half and the back half of the hat put together, you're going to flip it so your right side's together on the front and the back piece, and you're going to sew that together again as well. And you're doing the same exact thing. You're going to stitch the pieces together, and then you're going to top stitch on one side of the seam. Now you're going to fold your front brim piece right sides together, and you're going to stitch just the sides of the brim. And then you're going to flip it right sides out, and you're going to pin the brim to the front of the hat. Now the brim piece should fit together exactly from one side of the hat to the other side of the hat, so you can follow along there and stitch it together. So right here you see that I have also serged the bottom of my hat. This is an extra step and you don't have to do that. I've actually found a ribbon that I thought would look really cute on the inside and help stabilize the hat so it doesn't stretch out. So what I'm doing here is I am pinning the ribbon to the bottom of the hat, and then what I'll do is sew it down and flip it so the ribbon is on the inside of the hat, and then stitch that down. So right here is what the ribbon looks like. What I'm doing here is I am flipping it so the ribbon is on the inside of the hat, and I'm actually going to hand stitch it down. I used a catch stitch, but you can also use a whip stitch because it's easier and faster to do. The goal here is to make sure you don't see the stitching on the outside of the hat. Now all we have to do is add buttons on the sides of the hat so we can add a little pizzazz to the hat. Now if you have a little helper, feel free to have them choose the buttons for you. I think the darker one would look better.
More contrast?
Yeah.
And the light one would make it look pastel-y, so that's up to you.
That one or that one?
Decide with her. Light pink.
Light pink.
Light pink.
Okay.
Don't go against the dot dot wishes.
Uh-oh. That one? You want the little baby one?
That's too small.
It's too little.
She's testing.
Okay, she's testing.
That's the second time she went with that one. That one.
That one.
That's
okay.
the one.
That one.
Good girl.
Okay, thank you.
Good girl, Dot Dot. Here, take the big button and go play with it. Alright, Dot Dot, choose the second one.
We can't go with that one, Dot Dot. There's no match. We can't go for that one. There's no
That's
match.
a good one.
wanted this one with the 2 buttons. She likes the double
Ah.
button. Aha!
Ah, good choice.
Good girls. Once you've completed the task of choosing your buttons, you are going to attach that to the sides of your hat, right where all the seams meet. That's going to be on the sides of the brims there. I'm adding these buttons because I feel like Mrs. Maisel would have went for some functionality. So she would have used the buttons on her hat to loop her mask around instead of using her ears. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, this is supposed to be a fun video in the midst of everything that's been going on in the world, so hopefully this cheered you up, and maybe you'll be able to make your own cute little cloche hat and add and style it in the way that you want. But before I go, I want to say that I got this awesome shirt from Sewcially Joe. So if you're interested, go hit her up on Instagram. Otherwise, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to my channel.